What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. So on today's episode, we're gonna do some transmission stuff. So one thing that we I didn't really forget about it. It wasn't something I was well, I guess I forgot about it. Ken informed me we should be running some sort of temp sensor on this transmission. So that is on today's agenda. So I talked to FTI, I said, should I put an inline or should I put it in the pan? And they recommend the pan. So that's where we're gonna go. Now, if we come under here, this is their deep pan. So he says we can just drill and tap it. So because we have wires coming off of our trans brake solenoid, I think we're gonna put it right here. And so we got a couple options here. I have these weld-on bungs that I use them for every aluminum tank I do. So I don't know for sure. We're gonna get the pan off. We'll see. I know he says drill tap. It'd be a lot quicker than welding it, but we'll see. I'm gonna pull it off. We'll see what it looks like. And I would hate to. I mean, there's a lot of threads on these, right? So I don't know how many threads I can get into this pan to put the sensor. So that's what we're gonna do today. So we'll pull that pan off and we'll get after it. Okay, so we do have a little bit of fluid that'd be out of the torque converter that made it in there. So yeah, everything looks real good here. Obviously it should. I'm just gonna let that drip into there for a few minutes. And yeah, and then we'll get that pan over on our table and do some work. Okay, so we put the pan up there and then I set the pan down here and I noticed this. So it's extra thick there, so you'd be able to tap that. Like, if a guy can drill through there, be able to get a good tap. Because I was gonna put this right there and that's gonna cause a problem. So I'd have to go over here. And if I can find the right size tap, but this tap don't have it, so if we come over. So I got a lot of stuff, right? So you guys have seen the shit drawer, you've seen the soup drawer. I'll show you my drill bit drawer. So I got a lot of just random drill bits and there's those. I was looking. Fuck. Anyways, so I knew I had some bigger ones, so I got, what's that? That's a 3/4, and I believe this one looks like a 5/8. 5/8. I think this is the one that I need. We'll grab the 3/4 as well. But that's a 3/4, and I'm pretty sure that's 5/8. So we're just gonna drill and tap this and we should be good. That way I don't have to dig out everything for my welder because I haven't done any aluminum welding for a while. So it'd take me longer to dig everything out, set it all up, and my bottle, wherever it is, it's buried in the back, than to just drill and tap this. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drill and tap this, and hopefully one of these is right. I'm gonna check obviously before we go ahead with this, but yeah, that's super exciting. The things you find in your toolbox. Well, after checking threads, that's wrong. That won't work. Yeah, so I either need to buy a tap or weld the bung on, because none of this is gonna work. I'm pretty sure I don't have any more fancy taps in here. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch. That ain't gonna work. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do here. I guess we'll set up all the welding stuff and we'll weld the thing in. There's something about cutting into something brand new that I don't entirely like, so we're gonna hole saw this out. I'm gonna clean this up obviously, but that'll go right there and we'll TIG weld it on. That's kind of been a nice thing about this whole build is I have the welding experience, so I haven't been overly overwhelmed like with welding. Like I haven't been like, oh shit, I gotta weld this and that's scary. And I get it. It is scary to weld stuff if you don't know what you're doing, but I know what I'm doing. So yeah, we're gonna get this welded up, get the hole cut, and we'll go from there. This is drilling really easy for us. Just give it a little stress. Just away. Alright, there's the scary part done. So, we will grab the die grinder, we'll just clean that out just a little bit, and that'll be perfect. We're good. So if you're doing any kind of aluminum welding, get yourself one of these. They clean out really well, and they eat. You got to be careful with them because they are hungry. There we go. Perfect fit. That's awesome. Beautiful. So now we will get this piece cleaned up. We'll get this all cleaned up, degreased, and we'll start welding it in. Okay, so here's where we are. We're gonna weld this on there and we'll go from there. I don't have the right tap. I thought these taps were the same thread as these. They're not. So that's not gonna work. So we're gonna just do this. I could have just done just the sensor here, but if something ever happened to that sensor that this stripped out, it's a bigger pain. So at least this way, we got a fail safe there. So yeah, I got the plug taken out because there's a plastic gasket or O-ring there. So yeah, I'm gonna get my TIG welder set up. It's right there. I haven't used this in a while. So yeah, we're gonna have to get all that stuff set up. We'll get the doors closed so there's no little bits of wind. And then we'll get this, I mean, it's pretty clean right now, but when you're welding aluminum, you want it clean enough that you can eat off of it. But eat it like clean enough that a normal person would eat off of it, not a guy that works in the shop and eats off dirty fingers. So we're talking like 5-star dining clean. That's what you need it cleaned up to. But we'll get this welded on. I'll set you up. You guys can watch me take it out, and then we will let it cool and we'll put it back on. So I get a lot of comments about what do I use for welders. Most of my shop stuff is Miller. No, I'm not sponsored by Miller. It's just when I was setting up my shop, it was what I could afford at the time. That one there, it was used. This diversion 165, it was the first welder that I bought for my shop that was actually, I think my dad helped me out, or my brother, one of the two helped me buy it. But it was the first new welder that I bought. And the nice thing about it, it was idiot proof. It has aluminum, it has DC steel, stainless steel chromoly. It worked awesome. And it didn't have, like, the duty cycle on it was low enough that and I could run it off of a little generator, something like that. It's got some issues. It doesn't work the way it should sometimes. So my buddy Rob actually asked me if I wanted to use his Synchrowave, get it set up and run, and he had it for years, I guess. So he brought it down, I set it up, and the thing, it welds beautifully. I love it. But at some point he's gonna want it back. So, but we'll get this thing set up. I gotta hook the bottle up off of the diversion onto there, and then yeah, just get stuff going. So you're gonna get to see me probably swear and cuss a little bit. I absolutely love TIG welding. It's one of my favorite things to do, but it's pretty, it's not tedious, it's just well, yeah, it's tedious, but I love it. It's so yeah, we'll see if I remember how to do this. See if we can get a tack on here. Ah. All right. Get a couple tacks on it, and then we'll get it good and clean. All right, so we got it tacked down. So now take this off, and we're gonna give it a real good cleaning again. Stainless steel brush, and yeah, get this thing welded out here. This is a cast pan, so it's it should take all the heat that we're throwing, and should be okay. All right. Ah, Jesus. Yeah. Normally I'd weld on my other table, but it's absolutely covered with wiring stuff. So I didn't fully expect to be doing this today, so we'll see if we can put some nice welds on here. Oh. Turn your gas on. it'll work. I'm hesitant to show you guys what it looks like, but it is what it is. It's not pretty, but it'll work. So I'm gonna clean it up, make sure I got no undercut or any cold spots, and it'll be fine. All right, so we got it all done here. You can see the hole there. So yeah, that's gonna work. So we'll get this all cleaned up and make it look pretty again, and get it reinstalled, get the sensor put in, and we're good to go. Okay guys, so we got the pan back on, we got the shifter back up here, and that's where I put it. So I wanted to put it right here simply for the fact that I wouldn't have it hanging out the side. It's a little protected from the pan. So we'll just run our wires basically straight up and through the hole right up here. It's hard to see, but that's where a shift cable comes through. So yeah, we got that done. So the FTI, it is pretty much ready to go now. So I'm not gonna fill it with fluid yet, just in case Ken gets here and he's like, you should move it or something like that, which isn't a big deal, but hopefully that's not the case. So that's it for today. That's what I wanted to get done in this video. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, you know, all that stuff.